Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we're going to look at another beautiful product from Lagavulin. So, if you've followed along this channel at all, you'll know that I am a huge fan of Lagavulin or Islay Scotch in general. Love the peat, love the smoke. Really can't go wrong with Laphroaig, Ardbeg, Lagavulin. I've had Colilla. I did have a bottle of Colilla, Port Charlotte, Bowmore. I think there's like 3 Islay distilleries I've never had. Bunnahabhain. I don't even remember off the top of my head. But there's a handful that I have not had. But Lagavulin 16 in honor of... oh crap, can't remember the guy's name now, from Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson. Started watching some of that stuff. My wife, for I think my birthday or maybe Christmas a couple years back, got me a bottle of Lagavulin 16. Tried it, both of us tried it, and we immediately fell in love with Islay whiskeys and just everything about it. And so since then, if you watch back through all the videos, you'll see that my Islay collection has grown quite significantly. I probably have 20 bottles, 20 different varieties of Islay's, along with some specialties. So the other weekend, my wife and I, we were in Gillette on Valentine's Day. And because we were in a new city, had to go and try or check out the new liquor stores and see what they had. And so they had this. And so this is one of the more expensive bottles that I have purchased as to date. This is probably the 3rd or 4th bottle that I've gotten over $100. This was $119.99 over in Gillette. And I did do some double checking because I was like, man, I'm a huge fan of Total Wine as far as a store goes for purchasing liquor, specifically whiskey. Their prices are really hard to beat, so I wanted to see what the comparison price was. I looked in Wisconsin at the Total Wines there. I think Brookfield was the only store that had it, and they had it listed for the exact same price. So I felt pretty good about hopefully not getting ripped off too bad. Things to know about this. This is batch number 1GV4/506, distilled in 2001, bottled in 2017. So this is a 16-year-old whiskey. 43% ABV or 86 proof. Just really nice. Like I said, my wife bought the first Islay we had ever had, which was a Lagavulin 16, and just fell in love with it. So I think a couple things to note. Islay Scotch is what most people think Scotch is. Most people think that Scotch is this smoky, peaty, briny firewater, right? Truth be told, the vast majority of Scotch out there is nowhere near that. If you look at most of the Highlands, lowland Scotches out there, they have no peat in them whatsoever. If you look at most of the blended Scotches out there, they're not peated as well. So the vast majority of whiskey on the market is not peated. But when people think of whiskey, they think of peated whiskey. They think of Islay style whiskeys. And there's other places that peat things as well. So like Talisker, which is from the Isle of Skye. So again, you're on an island. Some Speyside whiskeys are peated. We just did the, is it Balvenie? The Balvenie Week of Peat, that one. So they do exist. Some Highlands do have some peated varieties and stuff, but by and large, the vast majority of Scotch out there is not peated. So if you're looking to get into Scotch, make sure you check out the different regions and you do a little bit of diving into what is out there before kind of succumbing to the idea that everything is peated. If you do like peat, such as myself, and you can see, we already tapped into this bottle a little bit. Islay is kind of our home. We dive into this deep. So Distillers Edition. So sherry cask finish, I do believe. So single malt. Let me just read on here a little bit. Mightiest of Islas, yada yada yada. Reveal the full depth complexity Distillers Edition of Lagavulin. Our master distiller has hand selected a small number of casks for double maturation and specifically crafted Pedro Jimenez cask wood. Accents of rich sun-dried grapes, yada yada. We don't want to read all the descriptors. So what they did is the distillers picked specific barrel or specific casks, like the flavor profiles, then took that and double cast them by putting them into a second finishing barrel, which was a Pedro Jimenez sherry cask, which is why, if you look at this, there's a fair bit of a red hue to this, in comparison to the traditional Lagavulin 16. So I have the Lagavulin 16 and 8, the Nick Offerman second edition Guinness cask. But this is the last whiskey that we are shooting today. We've done 3 others so far. I always like to finish with the Islas because that smoke tends to cover up pretty much anything in any of the other whiskeys that you'd find. But on the nose, you get that wood fire smoke, a little bit of brininess, some dried fruit, dark fig kind of notes. Really nice. A little bit of caramel in there, although hopefully that's not from the bird dog still being in the glass. Hopefully, I rinsed it pretty good, so hopefully it's not part of that. But man, just this nice sweet fruits, sweet dark fruits, plums, figs. Picking that up, that's typically what that sherry cask brings to the finish, a little bit of sulfur. Very nice. On the taste, it is wood, campfire, smoke forward, savory meatiness into a hefty, sweet, dark figginess that kind of dries out, comes in with a bit of ash and seaside brine and like smoked ham, similar to what a Lafroig would bring to the table. Very, very nice. Easy sipping. Just a plethora of flavors coming through. It's going to be hard to really break all these down. The nose doesn't change much, but man, if you want just a nice, good, easy drinking experience, if you like the peat, pick up a Lagavulin of any sort. You won't be disappointed. Now, what I find with Lagavulin is the more I go back into that glass, the more that the smoke subsides. And this is true for all Islas for me personally. I only get that smoke, that heavy peat for the first 2 or 3 sips. And with each subsequent sip, that peatiness tamps down and more of that mid-palate sweet fruit, vanilla, caramel, butterscotch. The sweet notes in that middle really start to blossom with each sip. So let's see if we get that. The nose doesn't change much for me. Second sip does just that. The smoke tamps down, but like the maple glazed ham kind of picks up. A lot of salty brininess, a little bit of earthy peatiness in there, not smoke. That there's a through line of smoke, but it's starting to tamp down. You get a bunch of that dark fruit, like dark plum, prunes, figs, definitely dried figs seem to be in there. Get a little bit of salt on the lips with the finish. golly, I just really do love Islay scotches. And if you can find these sherry cask finished ones, so like we have a Lefroy sherry cask. Pedro Menez is a sherry cask, but it brings a little bit different notes in. That was all butterscotch, sweet, vanilla, and then a through line of a earthy, boggy peatiness, smoke kind of coming through. Love it. Love it a lot. A little bit of sulfur in there, a little like burnt match. I can't. There's so much going on with this that this video would be a half hour long if I really sat and picked this apart too much more. What you need to know is it is delicious. It is definitely worth $120. If you find a bottle, pick it up, give it a try if you're an Islay fan. If you already know you like the types of flavors that I've described. If you're just dabbling your toe into something, I would never recommend that you go out and pick up a $120 bottle. And I'd probably not even recommend that you go out and pick up a bottle of Islay. However, you never know. Like my wife, she tried this, and this was one of she tried it the first Lagavulin she got, and that started her down her whiskey journey. So she fell in love with Islay and peated whiskeys straight out of the gate. So you never know. Maybe it rings true for you. If you're going to try something cheap like a McLeland's or McClelland's. It's the same thing. I don't know quite how to pronounce it. Everybody pronounces it a little bit different. You know, that's like $17. If you buy it at Total Wines, it's like $17. If you pick up their Islay, so I've had their Lowland, their Highland, and their Islay. Go back, check out those videos on my channel. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's a good introductory for a cheap price. But if you already know you're a fan and you're looking for a little something different, go ahead, check out this Lagavulin Distillers edition. It is excellent. Can't say enough good things about it. You know, it's still a great 16-year-old scotch, and yeah, I love it. So go ahead, drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of Lagavulin Distillers edition for in your area. It was $119.99 here in Wyoming over in Gillette, and I think it's worth that price. As always, like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't already, check out Life and Whiskey on all the different platforms that we are on. And I guess share this video out. Share this video out with anybody who you think might find it interesting or valuable. So there you go. That is my take on that. You guys have yourselves a great day. Thanks for watching. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video.